Often what we learn at university is very abstract. You may be asked to grapple with the nature of socialism, constructivism, neuroplasticity, cryptocurrency, natural selection, germ theory, or quantum mechanics. I could go on. The problem is, when learned up in the abstract, such concepts can be hard to commit to memory. We are much better at remembering abstract ideas when they are tied to individual stories and concrete examples. Did Newton really formulate his theory of gravity after being struck on the head by an apple? Probably not, but the story certainly captures the imagination. Say you need to learn about the theory Tragedy of the Commons for an upcoming exam. You could reread a summary many times, something like this: when individuals acting in self-interest deplete a shared resource, which ultimately acts against the interests of the group as a whole. Or you could tie it to something more concrete. When first proposing the theory, the British economist William Forster Lloyd did just that. He asked his readers to picture a pasture that is open to all, what in Britain is called a common. If each farmer from the nearby village grazes a single sheep, the grass naturally regrows at a sustainable rate. But suppose a single farmer wanted to make more money by selling more wool, and so buys another sheep thinking it won't affect anyone enough to matter. If every farmer in the village uses that same logic, there will be so many sheep that eventually the land will be degraded such that nobody can use it. See how when the theory is linked to a concrete example, it becomes more vivid and easy to connect to? Now, if sheep grazing doesn't do it for you, you might like to try a more recent example. Some argue that Tragedy of the Commons can help to explain panic buying during the COVID-19 pandemic. When a lockdown is announced, perhaps stocking up on some extra toilet paper is, for each individual, a rational decision. However, everybody acting on this logic means that supply chains are disrupted, a shortage is created, we see price surges, and the now iconic empty supermarket shelves. When we learn using stories and examples, neuroimaging shows that we actually simulate the experience in our minds. We use the parts of our brains dedicated to empathy, sensation, emotion, and memory. Essentially, by engaging more parts of our brain, we increase the likelihood of remembering the concept later on. Now that I've drawn your attention to this, you'll start to find examples everywhere. You'll come across them in your readings, and most lecturers seem to know that stories and examples help to communicate more complex ideas. Harness this in your study. It could look a bit like this in your notes. Perhaps you'll have a summary of the concept, and then a couple of key worked examples. Another way is to tell what you're learning as an engaging story to somebody else. What's most important is that you choose examples that are relevant and accurate, and that you understand exactly how the story or example relates to the underlying principles of what you're learning. Good luck. This video was brought to you by the Study Smarter team at UWA. To find out more, you can visit our website, studysmarter.uwa.edu.au, or subscribe to our YouTube channel, Study Smarter UWA.